What's up, football fans? I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and don't forget to check out and grab your copy of our two latest book releases, Football: A Love Story and What Did Football Teach Me? Visit our website at footballgameplan.com/books and get your copies today. Welcome to NFL Game Plan. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you our Week 5 preview between the Buffalo Bills and the Tennessee Titans. And we're going to be joined by our Football Game Plan analysts, Teron Davenport, Gene Clemens, and also Chris James. But first, let's start this video off by taking a look at my keys to victory.
Starting with the Bills in this ball game, I believe discipline is key in this matchup, and not just being disciplined and not getting penalties, but being disciplined in your assignments on both sides of the ball. I think that's where they really lost last week versus the Giants. They have to stay disciplined in what they're being asked to do. And when in doubt, grind it out. The Bills do have the ability to run downhill despite having some injuries in the backfield. I love the way that offensive line is firing off the football. They don't have to get overly creative with Tyrod Taylor back there in the pocket. You can run the football, operate off play action, and be much more effective and efficient on offense. And defensively, it's about staying active at the line of scrimmage. As talented as Marcus Mariota has been so far this season, he tends to flatline a lot of passes, which means you can get some tips which could ultimately result into turnovers. Now, looking at Tennessee in this ball game, Mariota's running ability, I think, could frustrate that Bills defense. They should have enough practice in dealing with a guy with mobility in Tyrod Taylor, but Mariota is another one of these guys that can provide a huge advantage for an offense because of his mobility, which means you can't be aggressive in playing the run because of the naked bootleg possibility. So I think his ability to run the football in this ball game could be huge. And playing fast on both sides of the ball, I think that's one way to calm pressure. You play fast, you play up tempo, you get these guys going in different directions, you get these guys having to think, and that gives them that little bit of hesitance, which allows you then as an offense to have success. And on defense, you want to dictate what they do offensively, and that starts by playing fast, being aggressive, flying to the football. And if they do that, the Titans can win this game. And they have to finish. I think the Titans do a great job early on in the ball games, and they sort of let teams back in it. They have to learn how to finish if they want to have a successful season overall.
This week versus Tennessee, I'm going to show you how the Bills can get the football in the hands of one of their dynamic playmakers, Percy Harvin, on a handoff following both a guard and a tackle inside the hole. I'm going to show you what we're talking about here. We're trying to pull the backside guard and the backside tackle. And in order to get that done, we're going to need a hell of a block right here by the tight end. And we're also going to need a little bit of illusion to keep everybody at bay. And so what we're trying to do on the front side, we're going to have this tackle work up to the second level, block the backer, going to have the guard block down on the nose. That's going to have to be a great block. He's going to have to make that block, and that's actually one of the big keys to the play. Center's going to work back to the backer, and now we're going to pull this guard. The guard, since he's the closest to the 5-tech, he's kicking him out. Boom, that's your kick out block. Going to pull this guy around, lead him into the hole, hopefully probably getting this backer here. So to make all of this work, he's going to have to slam down real hard. That's going to be a very hard block, but he has to get him cut. So that's going to be the biggest block right here, I think. And how we hold this guy here at bay, this backside linebacker, easy. We're showing an illusion here. We're going to open up as if we're running the football, pre-snap motion showing, okay, maybe they're coming with an end around. So the receiver's coming around as the running back walks through. Since Percy Harvin is quick, you're going to fake the handoff here. That's going to hold this backer in place. Harvin comes around, takes the handoff here. Again, this motion is going to slow down his backer. It's probably going to slow down this 5-tech as well. But you just handed the football off to Percy Harvin, who now has an escort with the guard. The guard and the tackle following him around. He can either cut it up inside here or bounce it outside where you have a receiver either blocking the corner first threat or the safety. Harvin is athletic enough to make one miss, sometimes make two miss, but this is how you can get the football in the hands of a dynamic playmaker, utilizing an illusion, going backside, holding both the backer, the corner, and possibly the 5-tech, which allows his tight end to get him cut. And now you got those two big bodies going front side with your dynamic playmaker handling the football. And I think this is one way, maybe inside the 30-yard line, that Buffalo can get creative in trying to generate a big play, which could ultimately lead to a touchdown versus Tennessee.
Opening up the Titans playbook, you look at that offensive line, I think this is where they have to win in order to have success in this game versus Buffalo. And I think they do a sound job up front, dominating the line of scrimmage, getting good movement. You see right here versus Indianapolis, getting good movement on the football in this first play, and that's exactly how you want to block it up. The running back has to make that one guy miss, and that was a 6-yard gain. You move on to a second play right here. Look at the movement these guys get out there on the edge, sealing blocks. Not a lot of penetration from this defensive line. I think if they're able to hold their own up front versus a very aggressive and probably the best defensive line in the NFL in the Buffalo Bills, the Titans should have a lot of success on offense.
Now we have the Bills at Titans. My X factor for the Bills is Rex Ryan and his ability to develop blitzes and a defensive scheme to confuse Marcus Mariota. They need to give him multiple looks, change the defense at the snap, give him a cover 2, shift to cover 1, things like that. That's what they need to do in order to force him to make a throw, to think he's seeing something that he really isn't, make a throw and create a turnover. That's what the Bills have to do. And for the Titans, Marcus Mariota has been playing well. I think he is the X factor for them. He needs to be able to get the ball to Delanie Walker, their tight end. I think this is an opportunity where the two of them could have a really good game. Also watch out for Kendall Wright. He's definitely a factor as well. But my overall X factor for the Titans, Marcus Mariota. I have the Titans winning this game, and I have them beating the Bills 17-14.
If I'm coaching the Buffalo Bills, the name of the game is keep the chains moving. I want to keep the chains moving. I want to keep my defense healthy and fresh, because when they're on the field and they're fresh, they are unstoppable. I want to make sure I can move the ball. I need to get Tyrod Taylor moving. I got to get him throwing. I got to get him handed off to all of these backs that I have. If we can keep those chains moving, put consistent points on the board, there's no doubt that we'll have success. On the other side, if I'm Tennessee, again, establish the run game with a rookie quarterback. Don't have him throwing 35+ passes a game. The last time I let him do that, he had 2 interceptions and we ended up losing the game. I want to keep his passes anywhere between 18 and 25 passes. If they do that, they can have some success. Ultimately, I think they're going to lose this one 24-10.
I'm going to start for the Titans, Delanie Walker. He's the most consistent receiver from the standpoint that a young quarterback's best friend is a tight end. He's a guy who can get the job done against this Bills defense. As far as a sit, I'm going to sit Bishop Sankey. This front four is going to try to prove that they are legit and that they're back to proving things. And Bishop Sankey does not want that this week. As far as a start for the away team, the Bills you need to go ahead and start Tyrod Taylor. They didn't have the production that you would expect from their offense last week. Expect them to try to get back on track, and I think Taylor is the catalyst for that. As far as a sit, I'm going to sit Carlos Williams. Till he passes that concussion protocol, don't depend on him if you don't need to. A sleeper could be, due to that injury, Boobie Dixon. He can get some goal line carries either way as they try to protect Carlos Williams as he does play. Final score in this one, I actually have the Titans getting it done. That week off helped them. A 21-17 victory over the Bills.
I like the Titans in this ball game. I actually agree with what Chris James said about the Titans having an extra week of preparation for this Bills defense and what they're going to see. So I think that week off helps these guys out. I think you'll see a well-balanced offensive attack from Tennessee and ultimately winning the game. Now, as we recap our picks, Gene is the lone wolf here going with Buffalo. Can't argue with that. That's a great defense, and it should be a great game nonetheless. And we also want to give a huge shout out to Titan fan forums and Bill fan forums for always showing football game plan support.